All right, today is Writ Day, which that tenant that I was evicting, he didn't leave, so I had to file a writ, which is basically, it's a writ of possession. So basically the constables will come out and remove him, and I'll have to get his stuff out while the constables are there. So basically gave him 5 more days. The writ was like 240 bucks. I've never actually had anybody stay until when the sheriffs were actually going to come. Usually they're already like moving their stuff out, but this guy looks like he actually still thinks that he can stay here. So it should be pretty interesting to see what happens. Of course, my body camera died, so now I can't film it. But yeah, basically what I do to kind of set up for this, I already placed the dumpster here. Technically, he has 48 hours to come back and get his stuff. So we have to put it on the curb, and he has 48 hours to come back and get it. But I already, whenever that happens, usually it just goes to waste anyway. So I already place a dumpster here is one thing I do. I always make sure I have an extra set of locks, that we change the locks out as soon as, before we leave the property, locks are changed. And I'll also bring plywood to put over the doors and windows just in case, and I'll put up cameras just in case he wants to come back and damage stuff and stuff like that. I make sure that I have it on camera, and also everything's boarded up. So if he really wants to break something, he's gonna actually have to like forcibly enter. So those are some of the things that I do when the writ is actually gonna be taking place, because that's actually when the person is gonna get removed. So I'll let you know how it goes.
So for this part, after they get done removing him, all of his personal belongings have to be out of the apartment. They will stay until all his personal belongings are out. So at this point, I'm going to bring my guys in. We're going to get everything out as soon as we possibly can. It has to be on the city side of the curb, and he's not allowed back on the property. If he's allowed on the property, he'll get arrested for trespassing. That's why all his stuff has to be on the city side of the curb, because he's not allowed to come back to the property. So they're going to stay here until we get everything out. All his personal belongings have to come out, and they are kind of just there to monitor everything. These units were recently remodeled, so it was a little bit disappointing to see, the condition that he left the units in. Obviously, it's not going to be a huge turnaround, but at the same time, definitely pretty shitty.
So that's the first time I've ever actually had to like partake in the eviction. The sheriffs were being awesome, and I was just trying to be courteous to them to get a lot more stuff out than I thought. Usually like they help get their own stuff out. This guy didn't want any of his stuff, so he was still under the impression that he thought he had time. But this is Texas. This is not New York. If you don't pay your rent, you get kicked out.